Hello. Um, this is just a random recording of me playing chess. We're gonna try and play some 10-minute games and see if I can get some wins. I've been on a crazy loss streak recently. Let's play d4. Normal. Okay, d6. I think knight f3 was the move here. And then play c4. It's looking to be some weird transposition to a King's Indian. The problem is I've already played knight f3, which is kind of annoying. Okay, whatever. Yep, so e4. And this is the annoying one where he puts his knight on d4, right? Okay. What if I just take? Takes back with the knight. Okay, I'll take it. Takes with the bishop. If we play f4, maybe I'll take my knight. But then his dark squares are chronically weak. So maybe this is okay. There's also queen h4 check, which of course I didn't check. Probably wasn't very smart. Maybe like bishop e2 and castles. Seems logical. He immediately goes queen h4 check. But I actually didn't think that this was that scary. What's the problem with just going g3? Oh, he's going to put his queen here and say I can't castle? Interesting choice. I don't know. He just goes back. I guess he says g3 is a weakening move. That's fine, I guess. I'm just going to castle. Probably put the bishop on f3 and be aware of the open diagonal. Okay, bishop h3, developing a piece with tempo, I guess. What do I want to play? Rook f2 or rook e1? I guess I'll play rook f2. I just gotta be careful of this diagonal. But I think I should keep my rook on the f-file to try and break with f5 at some point. Just brings his knight into the game. So I think this is the part where I push f5 to try and put this bishop on g5, maybe? I mean, surely f5 can't be a bad move. Surely not. It's just taking more space in the center. So long as this pawn doesn't become a weakness in the future, which it most likely won't. I can also push g4 and his bishop is running out of squares. Goes c5. I'm not entirely sure what that's doing. I guess he's just planning to clear out that square for his bishop eventually. Like he wants to take this pawn with his knight maybe and then play bishop there, but that's just two pieces for a rook and a pawn. I don't really see that as that big of a threat. Yeah, that's interesting. I could just go bishop e3 and stop everything, or I can go bishop g5 and also stop everything. I feel like bishop g5 is very logical. If he plays h6, what's my response? Taking the knight would probably be a bad idea, but actually, wait, am I trapping his bishop there? Bishop here, h6, take. Well, he can play queen takes instead. Also, if he takes back with the bishop, he's just threatening the exact same thing. So I need to prevent that before doing anything else. Or I could just play bishop e3. Yeah, I think I should just play bishop e3 and play it safe, maybe. Maybe there's some ideas of going g4, and what piece exactly am I going to use to capture his bishop? I can never go rook f3 because that just drops the g4 pawn. So it is actually a bit more complicated than I would like it to be. But I do maybe have some idea of going knight d5, and if he doesn't take it. Okay, queen c7. I'm not sure what that does. Knight d5 looks very strong here. If he trades knights, my b2 pawn is hanging at the end of the line. Play bishop takes b2, but I don't really think that is a useful time spent for him. Maybe he's trying to long castle? I don't know. Very interesting stuff. Well, I do think knight d5 is the move. And I'll take back with the queen. Long castles. Pretty crazy move. Interesting. I want to play g4, I don't really know why. Maybe I should just play rook d1, bring another piece into the game. He's playing the take on b2 though. Do I care about that pawn right now? Not really. Let's just play rook d1. If he ever takes on b2, I think he's just opening up the b file and helping me with my attack and my own plans. Really, really want to play g4 and trap his bishop at some point. But I don't know how that's going to pan out. Bishop e5. Oh, that's preventing rook f4. I had rook f4. Yeah, not a clean game for me. Let's not spend way too much time here. Let's maybe just go a3. I don't really know what else to do. My opponent is doing a very good job of playing quickly, so I kind of have to speed up now that I only have 3 minutes on the clock. Missing rook f4, probably a very, very big mistake. Queen here wants to trade the queens off. Doesn't that just hang a pawn? No, because e4 is hanging. Is that... Wait, no, because there's bishop f3. What? Can't I take this? Queen takes e4, bishop f3, and there's 2 pieces attacking b7. Goes for it anyways. What am I missing? Bishop f3? That's a mate threat, and your queen is in the way, and you have no checks. Just takes it. Okay. Yeah. That's a problem. Let's just put the rook back on f2, to be honest. Put the queen back here. Take. I think I can sacrifice a bishop no matter what pawn he takes back with. He sees it as well. Goes here. I think taking with the bishop isn't a blunder, though I'm not entirely sure. Take. I'm not getting checkmated if he can bring his rook over here, so I'm not sure what his plan is. Also, my queen's attacking that square. Check and pick up the rook. Okay, really, really nice game. I was definitely pressing for advantage, but I did miss some very, very easy ones. Okay. 71% accuracy, not great. We get the brilliant move. Okay. This was all correct. e4 was bad. I needed to play d5 immediately. Good to know. Yeah, I never know what to do against this variation. But I usually, when I play d5, I normally don't like these setups. I hate playing against this with white. So I just took it. Taking was correct, apparently. Knight takes f4 was bad. Should have taken my knight. Okay. Great move, the only move, apparently. That makes sense. Moving your king isn't really that smart. Castles, normal move. Queen d8 was strange. Apparently you needed to go back to e7. Yep. Bishop h3. Rook f2 is correct. Rook e1's fine, no? Rook e1's also best. Okay. f5 is good. And c5 was a blunder. He needed to just castle. Bishop f4. And the point is just d6 is loose, and you actually have no way to defend it. Okay. Good to know. It's strange that this knight can't like hop back to e8 or something to defend d6, even though it's passive, it saves the pawn, but yeah, miss from me. Miss from him as well. Queen c7. Wasn't that great. I should have gone knight b5 again. Just missing the fact that the d6 pawn is weak. Okay. Queen takes was apparently a mistake. I needed to take back with the c pawn. Yeah, this is some really weird stuff. I think that queen takes is relatively logical because you're maintaining the weakness on d5. If you take back with one of the pawns, then a piece can't go there. So yeah, hard to learn from that. Okay, long castles was a mistake apparently. Rook d1 was a mistake. What happens if you play rook f4 here? Rook here. Okay, and if you play the rook over here? He can sack a bishop because this is undefended. Okay. So I actually was not winning a piece here. Well, that's good. That means I never missed anything. I calculated everything, don't worry. Definitely did not miss anything in this game. So he played bishop b5, centralizing the bishop, and also stopping rook f4. a3 was bad. I should have gone b4 immediately. Yeah, that makes sense. Black can't take it because taking it is weird and opens up your king for no reason. Also, if the c file ever opens up, then a rook can go over to the c file and pin the queen to the king. So I should have gone b4 immediately. Yeah. Going for the queen trade was bad because I can take on f7 and he can't take on e4. Brilliant move. Oh yeah, it's just whenever you sacrifice a piece, even if it's like a mate in one threat on the board, it always gets marked as a brilliant by the game review coach. No idea why, but this is a relatively simple tactic to see. So yeah, I had to sacrifice a queen, and he didn't go for the fork of my rooks, or the skewer of my rooks, I should say, which would have at least kept the material balance somewhat closer. But it's two rooks for a queen, and then a bishop for a bishop, and I have an extra rook on the board, so I have a queen for a rook. That's very nice. He ends up just taking here. Rook f2, rook f8. It's strange that he didn't bring... Oh, I guess he didn't want to bring the other rook because this pawn would hang, but... I mean... At this point, you're already down so much material, it doesn't matter that much, but... yeah, so I was looking at here, if he takes back with... Well, the first thing I saw was if he takes back with this pawn, then I have something like queen here check. Or queen a check apparently is best from the engine, but... I just saw that my queen was kind of getting into the position, and this is maybe very good for me. So if he takes back with the other pawn, then I have queen... Okay, it's obviously not really helpful that the analysis is just saying all the moves. But my thought process was... I don't actually really know what I saw here. For some reason, I thought that after queen here check, the king would be forced to step over here, and then I would have mate. But the king can just go over here, so that's a thing. But obviously there's bishop here check. The king is mated, so he's forced to go back with the bishop trade, and this is obviously completely winning for whites. But I also was looking at a potential bishop sacrifice. What happens if you just sack the bishop? Take back. I was looking at queen here check. That's what I saw in the game. And then rook here check. And this is actually just checkmate. Okay, so you definitely can't take the bishop back. Very good position for white either way. I think he also maybe was afraid of the bishop sacrifice or whatever is going to happen if you take back that pawn. So he pushes f4, and bishop takes is just fine. Originally in the game, I did not even see that rook g8 check was covered, so if he had played this, I probably wouldn't even have taken it. I would have just played king here automatically. But I also noticed during the game that I can just sacrifice the queen and go into this endgame, and it's completely winning no matter what black does, because the king is cut off, so you can just push the pass pawn. There's nothing. Yep. Pretty clean game overall. Trail the pieces, queen a check at the end, picking up the rook. Okay, play another. Maybe, if I can avoid losing, that would be great. Okay, we get black. A3. Interesting move. Let's just go d5 maybe. Now I'm just playing what I would play with white against this. Okay, this is Dutch. Interesting. So just play the normal Dutch setup. Like this, like this. Yeah, is he going for some classical stuff? I know that a6 is a line here, but it's kind of slow. I would rather just play g6 and fianchetto the bishop, to be honest. Goes for just bishop e2. The whole idea of the classical Dutch is to play bishop b5 when the knight comes out here, and I think he can still do it if I ever play knight c6. Okay, what's the plan here? Rook e8? Trying to get e5 in at some point. Let's just play knight c6 now. Very interesting play from my opponent, playing a black opening with white. Plays b3, wants to fianchetto the bishop. Can't I just play d5 here? Or d4? D4, take. His knight needs to move. Is the d4 pawn a weakness or a strength? We should probably wait. Okay, let's just play rook e8 then. Subtle improving move, preparing e5. And let's see what happens. Puts his bishop there. So there's obviously going to be some tactics if I play e5. So what to go for here? I want to improve this bishop somehow. Maybe I should just go for the double fianchetto setup. Or I could play bishop f5. Yeah, you know what? Let's just play bishop f5. There's some knight h4, but do we... The knight's a bit misplaced on h4, I think. Should be fine. Next, we should improve our queen with something like queen c7, maybe. Okay, immediately goes knight a4. Yeah, that's attacking my c5 pawn, which is a bit annoying. What if I just play b6? Well, now his point is b6 isn't helping me that much because my bishop is no longer on c8. Then he wants to go knight h4 and put his bishop on f3, maybe, staring down the long diagonal. I still think that this setup should be fine for black. goes here, so queen c7, then he'll go knight e5 as his point. Okay, bishop d7. It's a bit passive, but it should be alright. Yeah, let's just go bishop e7, I guess. Not my favorite move. Bishop f5 probably wasn't good then, but, or at least not if I'm gonna play b6. Maybe I should have just played another move to defend c5. I could have played queen d6 or something. What's my opponent's next move? Queen e2 apparently. Just defends the bishop in case of any tactics. Now should we play a pawn break? Well, we don't really have one at our disposal. I do want to play knight e4 though. Get those bishops traded. Yeah, let's go knight e4, I think. This is just intending to trade the bishops, and if he plays d3, then I can bring my knight back to d6, where it hits his bishop. Oh my god, there are things. I think trading the dark squared bishops probably benefited me more than it benefited him. I can still break with e5 at some point, but my king is feeling a little bit weak with the open, or semi-open f-file. Brings his knight back, wants to trade my knight off. Yeah, I don't think I want to trade this knight. Knight d6, knight takes d5, knight takes b5, queen takes b5. Surely I have some discovery there on his knight. Knight d4, hitting his queen. Knight b4 maybe, hitting his knight. Yeah, I think this is good. Maybe he'll just play something like take take and knight e5, but I think I can just drop my bishop back to b7, and even though his e5 knight is somewhat strong, I should be able to kick it out at my leisure whenever I want. Knight takes d5, goes for it. Okay, knight takes bishop, queen takes bishop. Why isn't knight b4 working here? Knight b4, the only square where he can defend his knight is queen c4, at which point I pin him. Looks pretty working to me. So this is his idea. Now my knight's hanging for real. Am I happy to trade the pieces is the question. I think yes is the answer. Yeah, let's go bishop here. He takes. I was thinking I'd take back with the bishop. Probably don't want to trade queens just yet. Brings his queen back, defending this pawn, etc., etc. Oh, and that's check. Bit annoying. Should I play f6? Not really. I should probably just step back. And he is planning to win another pawn. Maybe I am in trouble here. Rook a6. What does that move do? No one knows. Okay, let's go c4. Pushes b4. Okay, yeah, a very, very difficult position to play here, and I'm also playing it too slow. Need to go queen c7 here or something. Just need to make a move. Yep. Improving the knight, pretty logical. Let's go f6. Pretty committal move, but in time trouble, you need to play a bit committally sometimes. He wants to take many, 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 many times on f6. This was probably not as good of a move as I thought it was. Well, let's just go h5. Now that I've already fucked it up, might as well. His knight is a bit awkwardly placed, and he sacrifices the rook. Obviously, take. Yeah, I made sure why not. Ooh, my bishop's hanging. That's an annoyingly good point. Alright, queen here. Need to make a move. Yeah, that was a good tactical find from him. Maybe I should have taken the knight. Probably taking the knight was better, yeah. Oh, well, it happens. Yeah, he has way too many pawns. He's actually down in exchange, but he has 3 pawns for it. It is a very complex position, though, so maybe I can swindle him somehow here, but I don't see how that's happening. My only hope is to bring a rook over to g8 and play g5. That's the prayer anyways. Oh, his knight's trapped. That's what he is so concerned about. Oh, maybe he fucked it up. Well, he can just play e4 and sacrifice a pawn. Why is he thinking so long? e4, rook takes e4, and knight e3. And he's fine. I have no clue why he's thinking this long. e4 is just a logical move that untraps the knight. Even if he does lose the knight, I don't have enough time to win this. I am not a very good bullet player. e4, take there. And I can't take it, obviously. I need to move. Just too slow. Here, another good move from him. Take it. His knight's hanging though, so that's nice. If his queen couldn't move out of the way with check, which it can't. Okay, maybe I can try with queen takes d5 right now. It's not entirely clear if he's actually losing the knight there or not, but hey, I can try. Queen here, a very solid move. Need to take, simply do not have the time. And there was a fork, but okay, this works too. Ooh. That's winning a rook with check. Oh, why didn't I go king h8? Yeah. Okay. Did I actually have anything here? No, I had nothing. Just completely winning for white. So, where was my mistake that made it +7? I went back to the wrong square with the rook. Apparently I needed to go forward. Yeah. And also rook c8 was somehow a mistake. I needed to play something else apparently. f5 was a great move from him. Taking was probably not optimal, but I did not really have a choice in the matter. This doesn't work either, does it? You take here with double check, right? Takes here with double check. And this queen is just going to move out of the way in some way, shape, or form. Or you can just take and it's a completely winning rook endgame. Mate 9. But it's actually even better to keep the queens on the board. Somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. Difficult games.